Key skill 4, we are going to talk about the last rule for logs. And I told you in the last video to like and subscribe. Did you like and subscribe? Have you done that yet? I hope so. The last rule, very neatly written up here, states that if you have a number in front of your log, okay, so say you had something like this, a 5 there, that 5 can be put up as a power on your number. So for example here, this would be the same as 2 power 5. I'm going to keep that inside a bracket. That's going to be important later. So for example, let me find a practical example for you guys. A little bit of space over here. Say you had 3 log 5, 10. Well, you could take that 3 and put it here on the 10, specifically on the 10, not on the whole thing, right? And that would be log 5, 1, 2, 3. Now, whilst we just talk about this briefly, I want to tell the difference between log 5, 10 cubed, that's the kind of thing we're talking about, and log 5, 10, everything cubed. Here, we're only cubing the 10. That's why we got 10 cubed was 1,000. Here, we're doing log 5, 10 times log 5, 10 times log 5, 10. This, we're timesing the whole thing, whereas this, we're only cubing what's inside this bracket here. We'll talk more about that later on, but just so you're aware. So the last proof we're going to do, did you guys want the super nicely, neat, prepared version, or should we be a bit scrappy? And I'm going to do it. I think we're going to be a bit scrappy. So again, we're going to start on one side, finish on another side. So we've been given this, which, as you know from before, means this, right? A goes up and puts the y in the air. Now, we need to start on one side. So I'm going to start here with b to the c. Okay, so let me be clear that b to the c is in there. And then hopefully I should finish here. So just to be clear, okay, b to the c would mean b, which is a to the y, to the c, right? So I mean b equals ay times c. Okay? Oh, I've got a c here. So b to the c must be the same as ay times by c, right? Because we know b is equal to a to the y. So let's start. So we're going to start on the right side. Log a. Now I'm going to replace b to the c with a to the y times c. We're going to use exactly the same logic that we used in the previous 2 proofs. Like, once you've got the idea of these proofs, they're all a little bit the same. Okay, what can this be? Which power of a is a to the y times c? Or a to the y times c is equal to a to the what? Well, obviously, it must be y times c. So we must have the case that log a to the y times c, is equal to the y times c. Makes sense, right? It makes sense, but it's so simple, it kind of almost doesn't make sense. So we know that this is y times c. And if we go back to the beginning, we know that y is log a b. So we can say, okay, this is the same as log a b times by c, which is the same as c log a b. And we're finished. We started in a place with log a b to the c. We worked all the way through using only sensible maths, and we got down to c is c multiplied by log ab. So in a practical sense, how would we use this? 5 times log 2, 2. That's another important, like a nice little trick. Log 2 is equal to what? Well, 2 is equal to power what? You can put the invisible 1 there, so this must be 1. So 5 times 1. We can rewrite 32 as 2 power 5. So is it true that 5 times 1 is equal to 5? Well, yeah. So again, think of some examples for yourself and see do they work. So for example, you could do something like 3 times log 525 is equal to log 525 power 3. You need some big numbers there, but you can think of your own examples. So simplify without coefficients. So that means, can we get rid of these guys here? Okay. If I'm doing a log question and I've got multiple steps, so this is really important. So in the key skills, we've been looking at examples only with a plus, only with a minus, and now with some numbers. If I had that all mixed in together, like you're going to see later on, and definitely going to see in the exam questions, the first thing I do is I get rid of these numbers in front. Okay? So I would definitely straight away put these up. Now remember, the squared only goes on this part, not the whole thing. Okay? So that would be power 4. Okay, so this would be log x. Now, don't forget, this drives me crazy. 4 squared is 16. A squared is a squared. People only square the letter. Now here, 2 power 4 is 16, and that would be a4. Okay? Oh, is one of them got an x? This one is. You could go one step further because here we have a plus. Okay? And we know that plus means multiply. So now we've got our problem as a single logarithm because we removed the plus, we removed the 2 logarithms and got it down to 1. And a2 times a4 is a6. So that's as simplified as we can go. We can't go any further. Solve for x. Okay, that 2, the first thing that's got to go. Log 7x squared. Not the whole thing squared, just the x, is equal to log 7 x plus 12. Now, this is a type of question we haven't really talked about before. Our strategy has been to get one side to be a single log and then just pop it up and remove the log. However, if you've got one log on each side and it's got the same base, it logically makes sense that that must be the same as that, right? So it must be true that x squared must be the same as x plus 12. So we can bring everything to one side, not messing up our signs. And we want to multiply for minus 12 and add up for minus 1. Remember, there's like an invisible 1 here. Boom. So we want minus 4 and plus 3. Giving us 2 solutions. Would we keep both of those solutions? No. We don't want this to be negative, so we're going to eliminate this guy here. So we're going to be left with x is equal to 4. We can check it by substituting it back in. Check that, guys. See, does it work? Last question. Express x in terms of y. Okay. Like, what does that actually mean? Express something in terms of something else. Well, if it says x in terms of y, that means that we should have at the end x equals 2 and a formula, and that formula has got the letter y only. So some y's, some powers of y's would be okay, some square roots with y, some numbers, things with y, okay? You guys get it. So let's have a look. Here, this guy, we can put him up. Log 5, 2x, 3, okay? Oh, I think I'm missing a 5 there. Okay. So again, 2 cubed, 8. X cubed. Now I've got 1 log 5 on each side, so I'm gonna, not cancel, not really cancelling, but that must be equal to this. Do not try this if you had another log 5 here, for example. Okay? Just get down to the stage where we've got 1 log only on each side. Okay. So therefore, 8x cubed is equal to 25y squared. I need y in terms of x. So move the times by 8 to a divide by 8. And then take the cube root. If you want to go a little bit further and be a little bit fancy, the cube root of 8 is 2. So you could have over big 2, instead of having the cube root over everything. Okay, that's us done. That's a wrap for tonight. It's 11:13 p.m. on a Saturday night, so I think we're going to call it cut for the night. However, we will be filming tomorrow, Kisco 5, so stick around, keep watching. Make sure that you've done all of your multi-choice questions and exam questions on our website, courses.mathwithsophie.com. Everything's free, sign up, it's amazing. And I will see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow for me. Good night, everyone. Bye for now.